Welcome back to another ICO review. Today we are going to be going over DAV, that stands for Decentralized Autonomous Vehicles. We'll be going over their white paper and also their website. And then remember just to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video. But before we begin this video, I just want to remind you this is not financial advice. You should do your own due diligence. So without further ado, let's begin.
So we're going to go ahead and get started by looking at their white paper. So we're going to talk about the internet and how that initially started, and then go into how DAV is implementing similar ways of how the internet evolved. But basically, when the internet started, it was a few companies that tried to conquer the internet, and they had their own platforms, and they didn't let anyone else see what they were working on, and it's just very private development. And as the internet expanded, and as more players and as more developers and companies emerged, as they saw the same landscape as these companies like AOL saw, and they saw different ways to implement their technology into the internet, then you see companies like Google, Yahoo, and Facebook. All these companies emerge from that same internet model that existed before. Similarly, how that internet evolution occurred, that same evolution is occurring in the field of autonomous transportation. And autonomous transportation is just another word for self-driving vehicles. And currently, you have companies like Google, Lyft, Uber, Nvidia, Tesla, and Baidu who are competing with each other to bring these technologies to the consumer. And they're actually doing a very good job, but it could be done very faster if these projects were put and made open source, meaning that more people, more developers can come on the project and help develop and bring this to the consumer and
Right.
the market. You would see this come out much, much quicker.
Yeah, so right now, if one company fails, they're done for. But if it's open source, as they stated, there's no single point of failure. So even if one or two or three companies fail, it'll be all right. But if it was open source, everybody can work on it together. So yeah, something
Definitely. And thanks to
interesting.
DAV,
Yeah,
yeah, DAV is bringing this whole thing to open source.
yeah, they're gonna integrate the whole ecosystem. So a report published by London-based Rethink, an independent think tank, estimates that driverless cars will become more common, and people will continue to increase trend of moving from car ownership into opting for on-demand autonomous electric vehicle services. So this could save a family more than 5.6K per year, equivalent to a wage raise of 10% for the median American household, and that would result in $1 trillion per saving per year by
Yeah, so
2030.
a few ways they would be saving this money if you just think about it. One way is, let's just think about the cost associated with a self-driving car. Rather than having to buy your own car, and many times people get the car with interest payments because they don't have the initial down payment. Think about how much cheaper it would be to just have an autonomous cars, just have a field of autonomous cars in the whole entire streets that you could cater to, and you could call up to your house on demand, and the amount of money it would save you in the long run, rather than just buying a car and having to do maintenance on the car and all that sort of stuff. Another thing is that with the self-driving cars, they know they're running with algorithms, and the computer is basically running them, right? So basically, they know exactly when to brake, exactly when to push the accelerator, and they're going to
Yeah, which
be
turns to take
managing
and
fuel,
whatnot.
which turns to take, which routes to take, and this is going to be saving much more money in terms of fuel consumption. And that's just a few examples. I'm sure there are many more, but these are just some main things that we thought of.
Right. So I mean, right when you buy a car, it's already down 10-20% off the price that you bought it right off the lot. So with something like this, you would save a lot of money. That's why it adds into the $1 trillion cost of saving. So you might think that this technology is, 5, 10, 20 years in the future, but no, it's pretty much here, and it'll probably be implemented on a large scale within 5 to 10 years, I say, or even sooner actually. Like you have companies like Waymo, which is a Google partner that's already tested 3.5 million miles, and you have Tesla, Nvidia, and Baidu, which Baidu is the Chinese Google. They've tested a lot. So there's a lot of companies that are coming into the space. So it's not something that's going to be take a long time to roll out. When stuff moves, it'll move fast.
Exactly. It's pretty exciting stuff. But the main thing you guys want to think about is it's, it's this technology is going to be coming much sooner than we think, but the government has to allow this technology to be adopted. It's not a matter of if they're going to do it; it's a matter of when they're going
They
to
have to do,
allow
otherwise
this
they'll be left
technology.
behind.
Exactly. If you look at currently, if you look at drones, also this self-driving or this autonomous vehicle technology is also applicable to drones.
And
And
yeah,
yeah, currently drones, before 2017 and I think early 2016, drones were not regulated by the
FAA.
FAA, and anyone could just have a drone and fly it around wherever they want to, and no one knew whose drone it was, or no one knew anything about it, right? So that was a security concern for the government, and they made sure to address that. And basically, what they came about is you have to apply for a uh, you have to basically apply for a license to have your drones. And in 2017, basically they had 461,000 recreational drones registered and about 8,400 commercial drones,
Right.
and that's pretty huge amount.
Yeah, so they basically made you pay a $5 fee to register your drone. Because everyone got a Christmas gift, like their little kids, and were just driving these drones around randomly. But so you had to pay a $5 fee to register it, which they did give a refund for recently. So as I was stating before, a lot of countries are already getting into the game. So Switzerland, Iceland, Tanzania, they're already allowing autonomous drone delivery options. And from 2018, Japan will permit this as well. So I don't know what the timeline for the USA
Yeah,
is,
so
but they will be doing it as well.
pretty awesome news. Another thing I want to think about is the amount of money it would save companies like Amazon and like mail delivery services to deliver packages, and how quickly they would be able to deliver packages with these drones. Amazon currently is already developing their own technology with these drone deliveries, and basically they would be saving a lot of money, and they would be eliminating the human aspect of things and eliminating human error.
Right. And save on gas, and also they'll deliver it to you in 30 minutes or less.
Awesome.
Right. So also Domino's Pizza, they're delivering hot pizza to your door with this little robot that they've created. And then Baidu has an open source self-driving car that will lead towards fully autonomous transportation systems. So there's plenty of companies out there that are developing this technology. And it's, it'll probably be here pretty soon on a full scale. Okay, so the purpose of the DAV cryptocurrency is to incentivize a community to build autonomous vehicle infrastructure and build autonomous vehicle platform that's commercially viable and essential for cooperation. So the DAV network enables the distribution of tokens across all groups of network participants, and the growth of the network benefits all network members. So let's talk a little bit about the providers. You want to go ahead with the vehicle providers?
Sure. So basically, you can make money and make DAV tokens by providing autonomous vehicles on demand for people who want to go from one place to another or deliver a certain package.
Right. And then the infrastructure providers, you earn tokens by providing docking, charging, and battery replacement equipment.
So, I mean, that kind of makes sense with Tesla. I mean, if they just have these docking and charging
Right.
stations
The
already, they
superchargers.
could just exactly they could just provide the Tesla's self-driving cars with these docking instructors and earn DAV tokens for doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
But I'm not too sure if
yes.
Tesla would be participating in something like this. But you
Interesting.
never know. You never know.
You never know. Exactly. Elon Musk is a bright guy, but service providers would be people who are maintaining the vehicles, and like if let's say you have a lost or damaged DAV vehicle, if you have a repair shop and you repair those the car, then you get some DAV tokens for it as a way of payment for it. And you have the manufacturers who are assembling and selling the open source DAV prefabricated parts, which would be like the software basically for the autonomous vehicles and stuff. and people who are also
So it
making
looks like they
parts.
want to integrate everyone from the bottom of the chain to the top. So everyone in between that provides
Very
raw material,
interesting.
everything. So the arbitrators, so independent dispute resolution, provide earned tokens by settling disputes directly through smart contracts. So it involves damaged goods and proof of delivery. That's something you really need because we don't really have anything like that in the crypto community. Anything that can
Certainly.
say you send a
Yeah,
transaction
and
for
other
something, you get ripped off. Tough luck, right? Like if I send
exactly
you Bitcoin, you just run with it. There's nothing that
exactly.
stopped that. So if they have something like this integrated, you'll need to. So because like this kind of business, it's really a lot of it's face to face as well. So you
True
can't
that.
just
Yeah,
run.
and I mean, smart contracts can only go so far, and they can only be created to be so dynamic. And they have smart contracts usually have like, I mean, you can make them however you want, but the more complicated they are, the less smart they become, and they're it's just you need
Yeah.
these arbitrators
Sometimes smart contracts are
to
actually
solve the
pretty
issue.
dumb contracts.
And let's go ahead and take a look at their all-star team.
So we have Dr. Messer. He was a former CTO of General Motors. This is great that we have somebody from General Motors, someone from inside the industry. You can't just have somebody from outside the industry trying to run a project like this. You need, highly capable, intelligent people to do stuff like this. So also you have Dr. Horowitz. He was former space shuttle astronaut and NASA associate administrator. And then Jay Edelson, Equinix. And then Bianca, she was a head of emerging technologies at SAP. Then you have all these other people that were involved with Ethereum and then UPS, Bancor. UPS is great for the logistics side of this. So you need a pretty intelligent and, quite diverse team and they clearly have something like that. So I think they do have a shot at, making DAV a great project. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, certainly.
Right. So yeah, that basically concludes it. I recommend you guys look deeper into their team and their white paper. This was just a brief overview. We'll be making a video to follow up with it once their project gets underway.
So with that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video on DAV. DAV is going to be a very wonderful project, and they are getting ready for this new tsunami wave that's going to hit us in the automotive and transportation industry. In the description section below, we will be including their website address, so if you guys want to participate, you know where to do so. And with that being said, I'd like to remind you all to like and subscribe if you enjoyed our content and would like us to continue providing more awesome videos like this.
And if you don't want us to
And
continue, we're going to continue anyways.
exactly. And with that being said, thank you everyone, guys, and long live the blockchain.
Until next time.